Oh, I can't believe it's time for another Sephora sale again, and yet it is. The Sephora Vib sale officially starts this Friday, November 1st. I am here to give you my top recommendations. I do have a lot of products I use that are not sold at Sephora, so it is actually a little bit easier to whittle this list down than it used to be. And if you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Cate, and I'm an exclusively pro-choice influencer. That's something else that's very important to know about my channel. Everything I recommend, every single product I talk about is from a brand that is loudly and proudly in support of abortion rights. If you are interested in my pro-choice beauty brand list, you can always find that on Instagram. You do not have to have an Instagram account to access it. You can just head over to my Instagram, screenshot that list, keep it on your phone for easy access. And if you have any issues at all with that stance, I don't care, and you can absolutely keep scrolling. You'll notice that some of my recommendations here are Merit Beauty, but I want to tell you guys, if you're interested in any of my Merit recommendations, you might want to wait until after the Sephora sale because Merit is having their once a year only sale. The entire site is 20% off. And of course, everything I'm talking about here today is going to be linked down below in the description box. Those are affiliate links, and anytime you shop through my links, it really helps to support my channel, and I thank you all in advance. I'm going to start with my number one primer, and it is the Merit Priming Moisturizer. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the serum in conjunction with the moisturizer because I always use these two together. This is the primer I'm using every single time I do my makeup, including today. It gives me the most perfect canvas for makeup application. You don't have to wear makeup to get the incredible skincare benefits of this. On my non-makeup days, I'm also wearing this as a part of my general skincare routine. If you want to try these products out, they do come in a duo on the Merit site, and I believe it's always 10% off. Next is a primer that I have fallen in love with. When this first came out, I don't know, I think I was just overwhelmed with product and I did not give it its chance. I didn't give it its due, but this is the Say Glowy Super Gel Illuminator. I pulled the shade Rose Glow because this is my favorite shade of this primer. It comes in many shades. So when I tell you, it just flawlessly melts over the skin and you don't even really see a tone, especially when it comes to this or the shade Star Glow. Like, look at that gorgeous glow it gives your skin. And again, this is packed with skincare. It's going to give you that super hydrated, smooth, glidey base that I'm always looking for with my primer. And then of course, I have to mention my beloved In Beauty Face Glaze. This is another glowy primer. I mean, honestly, all three primers that I just showed you are going to give you like the most beautiful supple skin. Yeah, it has vegan squalane, ceramides, hyaluronic acid in it. And let me know in the comments if this is something you'd be interested in. But I feel like I get a lot of comments that I can tell there might be some user error involved in terms of application with makeup. And I think there are just some really basic application principles that I'd love to make a video about because they're so simple. And I think if more people just thought to do them, your makeup application would be like just next level. So let me know if that's a video idea you're interested in. Okay, so now we're moving on to foundation. And this is another category that I'm gonna make super simple for you guys because I'm literally only going back and forth between two foundations right now, and it's been that way for quite some time. This is one of those products that I always want to mention application with. If you are going to try the Merit Minimalist, I highly recommend, cannot recommend enough, the priming duo, because you want your skin to be beautifully damp and literally go over the top of your damp skin with the Merit Minimalist, and that is going to give you the most stunning second skin application. If you have problems with the Merit Minimalist stick, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be because your skin is not prepped and hydrated enough and you are going over your dry ass skin with this. Moving on to the foundation that I'm wearing on my skin today, and that is the Say Glowy Super Skin Foundation. My shade of this is shade 7 right now. Once I keep getting paler and paler, it'll probably go back to shade 4, but this is my second bottle of this foundation. I honestly don't understand why more people aren't talking about the Say foundation. I think it is absolutely flawless. This is like a no-fail foundation. When I go over my skin with this, it's giving angel skin. Next, I'm moving on to a setting spray, which is often a category that I completely forget about, and I surely do forget about this step when I'm doing my makeup tutorials. I don't know why. I think I just don't remember to do it. It's probably also because when I do my makeup tutorials, I'm not going outside. I'm pretty much just like staying in all day. So I don't think to set my face, but I do want to tell you that anytime I do my makeup and go out for the day, I'm setting my face with this. This is the Cali Rays Surf Proof Setting Spray. It is a clean, hydrating, long wear setting spray, and it has the most gorgeous, fine ass mist. Like, it literally just feels like a sea mist on your face. It also has like a very minor kind of tropical scent to it, which I personally really like. It dissipates in literally seconds, but it's very refreshing. And I love the fact that I can use this like after I finish my mascara, because some setting sprays are just too wet and it kind of messes with my eye makeup and my mascara. Not this. That's how fine the mist is on this. Okay, this is in its own category. I don't know what to call it. The most amazing body makeup slash body moisturizer slash bronzing product I've ever used. I have talked about the Fenty body sauce since it dropped. I did a dedicated video on this, and I probably will never stop talking about it because it is truly the most incredible bronzing product I have ever tried. This is literally like a combination between body makeup and a moisturizer. I'm wearing it on my skin today. I have it all over my neck and my décolleté. I have never seen a bronzing product blend out so quickly and so easily. It dries down as beautifully as a product like this can. I barely ever have transfer even on the inside of my clothes, and if there is, it's like super easy to wash off. Like, this product is like magic. And again, another product that I feel like no one talks about. And why though? Because it is so good. She's expensive though. I think she's like $50 or $52. So that's why the Sephora sale is the best time to get your Fenty body sauce. I know we're not like staring down the barrel of summertime right now. Okay, we're nowhere near it, but I'm just telling you, if you want to stock up, you will thank me next spring and summer. I think this is my third or fourth bottle of the Fenty body sauce, and I always get it in the lightest shade, which is Pearl Swirl. Okay, so next we're moving on to concealer, and the first one I'm going to mention is the Tower 28 Swipe Concealer. This is so creamy and dreamy. This is what I'm wearing on my face today, and this was like a perfect shade match for my summer concealer. I had someone recently ask like, hey, what happened to the Say concealer? I love the Say concealer. I just had a really light shade of it, and it kind of got put aside, but this is a phenomenal concealer. For anyone who's tried this or has this, I personally feel very strongly that this concealer is specifically best applied with a damp beauty blender. The Tower 28 concealer can be applied literally any way you can possibly think because it is just that creamy. The other concealer I want to mention, I do not have because I ran out, but it is on my list, and that is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This is a product that I have been using since day one on my channel, which, if you can believe, I started my channel in November of 2017. So we are coming up on 7 years with my channel, which is kind of crazy. But the Glossier Stretch Concealer was like one of my desert island top 10 products when I first began, and it still is. This is a concealer that I recommend anytime someone talks about having dry skin, mature skin, wanting something that blends into the skin and stretches across the skin with total ease, and that is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. It's also a fabulous base, just like using it as foundation. Glossier is one of those brands that is like a top 5 brand in terms of how incredibly vocally pro-choice they are. They are awesome. Another category that I haven't talked about in years past, and I've really kicked myself for it, is makeup tools. I mean, was I not just talking about how important application is? So this is an important category. I'm gonna start with probably one of my most used tools. This is my Fenty sponge. It's basically like a beauty blender. I really love the shape of the sponge. I use the flat side literally all the time. There isn't like a nook or a crayon on my face that this doesn't fit into perfectly. It blends things out in an instant. But the tool I cannot shut up about, and if you like cream products, especially cream blush, you need to get this brush. This is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Blush Brush. This is what I use to apply almost all of my blush. It's the perfect size. You can also totally apply powder blush with this as well. But the way that this blends liquid and cream products is just elite, and I can really focus on the area I want to keep the blush and like not get outside of the lines. Honestly, all of the Rare Beauty brushes are legit. Okay, I have one powder to recommend to you, and I used her up. She's gone, so I need to get myself a new one. But this is the LYS Triple Fix Setting Powder. Guys, you know how I feel about a pressed powder. I love a pressed powder. I do not prefer a loose powder. I tried the Rare Beauty powder that came out. I tried the Tower 28 powder. Actually, I used that a lot recently, the Tower 28 Get Set powder. I wasn't impressed with those. I thought I could get down with the Tower 28 and it was fine, but when all said and done, it just does not compare to the LYS powder. I'm very picky about my brows. I'm very picky about the shade of my brow products. And if something is like medium to dark brown, I can usually make it work, but I have to say this product in particular is like my perfect shade. So this is the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. I also really like this pencil because it's not so fine. It's fine enough. It fills my brows in more easily. And this shade of the Rare Beauty brow pencil that I'm in love with is called Deep Brown. I don't like to go too cool with my brows and I don't like to go too warm with my brows. I really want like a dead-on neutral is what's best. Wow, these categories are just boom, 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 one product per category. The eyeshadow that I have to recommend is the Merit Solo Shadow, and I feel like this is another product that people don't fully understand how to apply. And I want to give a little bit of advice. So of course you always want to make sure that you're fully closing the tops to your Merit Solo Shadow so it clicks, so it doesn't dry out. But I personally find these shadows are best applied with the warmth of my finger. And I think that's what's throwing some people off. And the other thing that's super important, which is on theme with what I was talking about earlier, is you want to make sure your lids are nice and hydrated. You want to make sure you've put some eye cream on your lids so that with the help of the warmth of your finger, this will literally just glide across your lids, and it truly does. Your finger warms this product up beautifully, and you can see how balmy that is. So anyone who's having issues with this going on dry or drying out, those are my suggestions for you. I actually went in the other day and pulled out every single shade they came out with. They sent me their whole line. I checked every single shade with my finger to make sure that none of them had dried out, and they were all as balmy as the day they had arrived. So that is my advice for the solo shadows. That is how my solo shadow goes on effortlessly. And this shade is what I'm wearing right now, and I'm so boring, I know, but this is the only eyeshadow shade I wear. I just want something that's going to give a little bit of dimension. It's going to smooth my lids and just pull the entire makeup look together, and that's what Studio is for me. Okay, so we're moving on to mascara, and I have been switching between two mascaras, but really there's one that I've been using nonstop, and it is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I bought this mini of this months ago, and it is still going strong. I think I'm probably getting close to the end, but I love this mascara. No one really talks about Ilia that much, and I do feel like they're a little bit hit or miss, but this is one of my favorite products of theirs, and I just love the wand. I love the brush on the wand. It's like a comb, so it literally combs through your lashes. It gives you that length, and you can go back in again and again and build. I'm definitely going to be getting a full size of this. The Tower 28 mascara is the second one, and that is another product that I ran out of. But I do think the Tower 28 is a little bit more, it's a little bit more dramatic. It gives you like thicker looking lashes, whereas the Ilia is definitely focusing more on length. Okay, so I think even more important than mascara is probably the lash serum I use. Whenever I use lash serum, I'm like, why the hell did I ever set this down? Like, what was I thinking? It just makes such a difference. And I use the Grande Lash MD. I've been using this for, I want to say about like 2 to 3 months. My lashes are just looking longer and flirtier, and it's because of this. The key to something like lash serum is you have to be consistent. I'm also just starting to use their brow enhancing serum. I'm 41 years old, and I'm noticing I have a little bit more sparseness in my brows than I had before. So I'm excited to try this out. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Okay, so next up is lip liner, and I am obsessed with these lip liners. These are the brand new lip liners from Cate. They're the Lip Liner 101. I believe there are 5 or so shades of these. I just had these 3 laying here and grabbed them. I love every single shade of these. These are the Goldilocks lip liners, because I cannot deal with a lip liner that's too dry, and I cannot deal with a lip liner that's too creamy. It really has to be like dead center in the middle. That's what these are. These glide on beautifully, but they stay on your lips beautifully as well. So I'm actually gonna go back in with one, because why the hell not? Okay, so I'm gonna go into the shade Wink, but you can see I need to sharpen her. Okay, so there's Wink, and I like applying these even like after the fact, like I'm doing right now, going back in and defining my lips. Okay, that is perfection. Do you see how that just very subtly made my lips look bigger? Honestly, lip liners are not something that I would say I get super excited about, but I take that back because these are phenomenal. Okay, so we're moving on to lipstick. I have a separate category for lip gloss, don't worry. My favorite proper lipstick are the Merit lipsticks. And yes, I love the signature satin shades. I love the signature matte shades. This shade right here, I just kind of randomly pulled, but this is a newer shade for them. This is called Ginger, and this is their satin lipstick. I just think their lipsticks are so beautifully creamy. And even for a matte lipstick, I think they're really comfortable. I do think I like the satin lipsticks a little bit more because I personally just like a little bit of creaminess and hydration to my lip product. But for a matte lip, these are so comfortable. This shade is the shade Classic, which is probably one of the most like universally kind of flattering neutral shades they came out with. So beautiful. And I know these aren't something we're really talking about that much anymore. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about these in like a million years. And by a million years, I mean like, I don't know, like a year ago or a year and a half ago when they came out. But these Rare Beauty lip oils are so unique and they're so beautiful, and I keep coming back to them time and time again because of that. They really are just a proper lip stain, and that's what I love about them. I can stain my lips with them. They're really comfortable, and then my favorite thing to do is go over them with a really beautiful hydrating gloss. It's like the best of all worlds. And then when the gloss fades away, you still have the beautiful tint that looks really natural. Okay, I got like some extra on my finger, so I'm just spreading it over my lips. This is the shade Happy. It's actually very similar to the shade I was wearing on my lips, which is actually something I'm coming up on, which is a blush shade by Say. Okay, so now we're moving on to some categories that have a few more products, like blush and lip gloss. Refill time. See, this is the good thing about drinking something that's clear. It's all over the carpet, but no one will ever know. Starting with the lip gloss I am wearing on my lips right now. And I have to tell you, this is something that I really liked when it came out, but I have fallen more in love with it recently. It's kind of all I'm picking up right now. It's the Merit lip oil. I am wearing this in the perfect fall shade, which is Mapleton, but I have every shade of this and they're all beautiful. They're very subtle. They are a true lip oil. Like, I know you can't really see the shade of this right now, but on their own, they just give this gorgeous glaze to your lips. If you're a person who likes a lip product, but you just want something oh so subtle and very hydrating, I cannot recommend this enough. I also just think, well, all of Merit's packaging is just on point, just absolutely stunning. I'm very picky about the stuff that I put on my lips because as I'm getting older, another thing I'm noticing is that my lips are very sensitive, and this makes them feel amazing. Like, I have zero issues when I use this product. Oh, I also should add, I personally don't love the OG version of these lip oils. I like the gelées. I find the gelées to be very hydrating on the lips, and I found the OG formula to be very drying. I did not like it. Moving on to the Ami Colé lip oils, and these are a very opposite formula from the Merit. This is actually like a good order to do this in because this is like a thinner, more glidey formula, whereas the Ami Colé is thicker and it has just a tiny bit of tackiness to it, but it really helps it to stay on the lips. So this shade is their shade 517, and you can see like that definitely has more thickness to it. It's such a pretty formula. Okay, next up is the Fenty Gloss Bombs. I know they're an oldie, but they're a goodie. This is another product that I keep coming back around to, and this is a shade that I recently used in a video and I love it. It's called Riri, and it's this beautiful shimmering mauve. These just make my lips look plushious. This is what I go to when I'm just like, I want something easy that is going to make my lips look juicy and sexy as hell. That's the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Next, we have the In Beauty lip oils, and these are definitely kind of a similar formula to the Ami Colé. I am obsessed with their Fatty Dough Foots. I also just love the scent / flavors they use. They always smell and taste so delicious. I think this is a special edition. I don't know if this is available anymore, but this shade is called Cranberry Fizz. And there's Cranberry Fizz. Again, it just has a very slight tack to it, which I think makes these glosses stay on just a little bit longer, and they're just super cushiony, very much like the Ami Collet. Okay, we're coming toward the end here, and I'm saving one of my favorite categories for last. Of course, it is blush. First, I'm gonna start with the blush I'm wearing right now, and this is actually a limited edition blush. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the blush I have on. This is a limited edition shade. It just dropped from Say. This is the Say Dew Blush, and this comes in a mini. It comes in a set, so it comes with 2 other of their beautiful OG shades, but I am particularly in love with this new shade. This is called Flirty, and it is a beautiful watermelon shade, and I know it looks really intense, but I'm wearing it on my cheeks right now. And it is truly like the perfect like pink aspen cheek. It looks like health. It looks like I was just out on the damn slopes. Yes, I'm gonna be extra and I'm gonna put a little bit more on, and I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty blush brush. And obviously a little bit goes a long way. And I just really focus on the apple of the cheek. A shade after my own heart. So gorgeous. I'm highlighting this shade, but you honestly cannot go wrong with literally any of the Say Dew blushes. It is a gel formula, so that's what makes it so beautifully blendable. The gel quality of this just helps it blend into the skin and stretch across the skin in this beautiful, natural way. I mean, you knew it was coming. This is like my #1 blush, and it is indeed the Merit Flush Balm. This is one of the most beautiful cream blush formulas I have ever seen, and it is by no mistake that I pulled this shade right here. This is one of my favorite blushes of all time. It is the shade Stockholm. My cheeks are already perfectly pink, so I'm not gonna show you, but I've applied this shade so much on camera, and it gives your skin just the most beautiful, bouncy, ingenue quality. It just gives your cheeks this ethereal quality. It is truly next level. But there are so many gorgeous winter shades that I cannot wait to pull out again, like this shade Après, if there was ever an aspen cheek. I mean, come on. And on top of it, they all look like beautiful little bonbons in the containers. Okay, and now for something completely different in terms of cream blush. These are the Ami Collet Desert Date Multi-Sticks. If you have not tried these, you need to run, do not walk. They are absolutely beautiful, especially if you like a blurred matte look to your blush. I prefer both. I love a dewy look to my blush, but I also love just like a beautiful blown out matte look to my blush as well, and that's exactly what these give you. I think I have almost every single one of these shades. This is probably one of my most used shades. You can tell she's kind of used and abused. This is called Dune. And when you blend these out, like look at the pigment on that. I know it looks really intense, but again, this is a product that blends out so beautifully. And yes, I do use my Rare Beauty blush brush to blend these out as well. It is absolute perfection. This is the newest shade they came out with. I think there's like a pink theme happening with me here today. This is the shade Pink Cell. Like, what's even going on? I'm angry. And last but certainly not least, these were actually a discovery for me on my last Sephora sale. These are the LYS cream blushes. So this is the shade Focused, and I believe this is described as something like a pink cinnamon. And again, like look at the pigment on that. This is such a beautiful nuanced shade. I'm definitely going to be pulling this out for the fall. And then of course, in keeping with the pink theme, this is the shade Bubbly, and she's just a beautiful bouncy shimmery pink. Do you see how that just went on? It was like butter. So I know that there are a few categories I did not talk about, and that wasn't a mistake. Like I didn't talk about bronzer, I didn't talk about highlighter, not because there aren't any good bronzers or highlighters, just because the main bronzer that I use actually is not from Sephora, and I'm actually just not really rocking a lot of highlighter. I'm kind of leaning into like the dewy blushes. If you want to see any of these products more in depth, most of these products I have featured and used in other videos, so definitely check out my other content if you want to see swatches or how some of these products applied on my skin. Chances are I probably featured it in a video at some point. You guys are the best. Please stay safe out there, and cheers till next time.